Welcome to part 2 of the beginner's tying videos. Today we're going to kind of go over the use of tools, and we'll get a jig putting device, show you how to adjust them as far as tightness go, and then we're going to tie just a simple jig to get you tying. So I'm going to turn the camera back this way. Now I've got laid out hemostats, the bobbin, the twister, and I forgot to mention last time a hair stacker, but a lot of that comes with kits too. They're inexpensive. The scissors and the thread. The thread, we're going to use a 220 diameter, because I think that's what beginners need to really use. So what we're going to do, we're going to put a jig in the vise. Now this jig, every vise is going to have a little bit different adjusting to how tight the hook can be, and mine is right here. You can turn it to open it more, or turn it counterclockwise to tighten it. So let's see if we can get this in. And you want it to where that it ain't gonna drop down when you trying to put the thread on it. So what we're gonna do, like I said, I'm gonna start with the 210 diameter thread. And what we're gonna do, I'm gonna show you how to get this thread started. Grab it in your left hand and wrap it, and then just 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, this tag piece, if you'll notice, I can guide my thread to put a layer down on that hook, and it's a tight layer. When I get to the hook point, see, I've got a whole shank of thread and nothing's missing. And a lot of times you want to put that on your hook, because the thread is going to really tie in your materials. I thought about getting into materials today, but I'm just going to keep it simple for your first one, and then the next video I'm going to show you why we choose certain materials for certain jigs, and it'll really teach you why there's so many materials out there. Okay, today we're just going to use hackle. I'm going to use a chartreuse. And on my jigs, I always use 2 pieces. I like the thickness of that it gives you on your jigs. So we're going to run this back up halfway. And when you get it there, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my bobbin and I'm going to spin it counterclockwise. And what this is going to do is going to give you a loop. When you go to catch this hackle, it's going to loop back to the left. So we're going to put that hackle right on top of the hook. Then we're going to carry it back, and you can twist your hackle to get it to stay on top. And that's exactly what you want to do. You want all your material on top. So then we're going to run a coat all the way back up to the head. All right, so that's a basic jig. You could call that a thread neck jig. It's really not, because thread neck, you're just going to run it about a quarter or a half, or I should say 1/3 of the way of the hook shank. And we'll put another one in, and I'll show you how to do that. But while we on this one, I'll go ahead and tie in a piece of chenille and show you how that's done. It's the same way. Spin your bobbin, your thread counterclockwise, and we're going to start that chenille right behind the head, and then we're just going to walk the thread back down to the hook point. Then go back up behind the head. And I ain't going to use the rotary because I know some is not going to have the rotary. So what we're going to do, we're going to come to me over top, to me over top, to me over top, to me over top, to me over top. Then we're going to take that thread and we're going to go around the back side of this and catch it. Then go behind that head. Then we're going to pull it out just a little bit and cut the excess off. Right here is the end of that chenille that we just cut off. So when we take this thread and wrap it, we want to catch that little piece. So that locks everything in. So you've already tied that chenille off to where it is not going to come off of the hook shank. And you want your jigs to be well tied so you don't have that kind of trouble. There's no sense in it. If a jig don't look right, undo it and retie it again. I have cut everything off the hook and just restarted. And that's what you need to do if you get in that kind of situation. Okay, so we got it. We got the end of the chenille caught, and we done wrapped it around. All right, I use the super glue with the brush, and I don't put much on here. All you're gonna do is just that one little dot, and that's gonna tie that thread in. Then we're gonna take the whip finisher, and the way you use the whip finisher, you take the front point of it, which is this, and you catch that thread. Then you bring the thread over and around the round part. Flip it like making a 4. 1, 2, 3. Slide, it releases from the back. Pull your left hand, tighten it. Alright, I'm going to show you that again just on this jig. Normally don't do that. But I'm holding the thread in my left hand. I'm taking the point, which is this, and hooking that thread. I'm pushing it away from me, bringing the tag in, back and over that little notch, and then pulling it up, make a 4, and 1, 2, 3, bring it up, let it fall off, bring it back down. And that's how you use that tool, which is a whip finisher. You really need to spend a lot of time just working with your thread just on a bare hook and get it where you can lay down that thread without it missing anywhere. On jigs, it ain't so important, but when you start tying flies, it will be. So even on jigs, I like to have a full base down because that gives that feather something to tie into, and you ain't gonna pull them feathers out of there like that. So let me take that one out. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna tie a thread neck jig. Find a couple pieces of hackle here. So I'm gonna take that full piece of hackle, and what I do, this is a 1/16. You need something to where when you cut this hackle, it's gonna be the same length over and over and over and over again. When you're tying this jig, go ahead and tie 10 of them, 20 of them, and that's gonna give you a practice what it's gonna take to tie a jig correctly. I use finger joints. The first joint is the length of my 1/32. The second joint is the length of my 1/16. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to lay that feather up there, and I'm going to go to my second joint. I'm going to grab it and cut it off at the tip of my finger. So that's one. And I'm going to go ahead and clip another one. Line it. Clip it. So that's 2 pieces of hackle. So I'm going to stack them on top of each other. I'm going to have that ready. Okay, I'm going to wrap the thread again. Left hand, pull it back toward me, to me, away, to me, away. And then, now this is going to be a thread neck, so I ain't going all the way back on it. I'm going to go about a third of the way. I don't know, I'm going to go all the way back on this because I'm going to cover that yellow. And then I'm going to come back up to about a quarter of it. Left spin, tie it off. Clip the excess of your thread off. Lay your hackle on top of your hook. To me over, to me over. So you're always going to me under, away, above. And what I'm going to use is about 1/3 of this hook shank, about where I got the thread now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run it back up to the head, and then I'm going to run it back to the hackle, and back to the head, and back to the hackle, and back to the thread, and back to the hackle, and back to the head. And that's where I'm going to want it. So what I done, I built up a neck right here with the thread. So now we're going to take and we'll finish it off. Pull your line, hook it up, over, into that notch. Then just cross it, make a cross there. It looks like a number 4 upside down. Then carry it to the jig head. 1, 2, 3, done. So that is the lesson for today. So this is what I want you to do this whole next week, is practice this. Take a single hook and put your thread on it.